Friday, August 21st. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 19 of What's Happening in Myanmar, a show from the Frontier Myanmar podcast family. I'm your host, Nick Dunlop. This week in Myanmar, Min Hlaing visits Russia, the resistance kills regime officials, and disputed Rohingya repatriation efforts continue amid deadly airstrikes. Regime leader Min Hlaing met Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow on Tuesday. The two leaders signed agreements on energy, electronics and space technology. They also signed a declaration to counter sanctions. Putin said the two countries now conduct 2/3 of their trade in Russian rubles. He added that Russia has good prospects for exporting natural gas to Myanmar and called Min Hlaing a dear friend. The visit is Min Hlaing's first trip to Russia since he became president in April. He will travel to Belarus next. The Myanmar regime says it has approved 300,000 Rohingya refugees for repatriation to Myanmar. The regime said it will accept them when the security improves in Rakhine State. It also accused refugees of terrorist activities as well as labelling them as Bengali. A Bangladeshi foreign ministry official has criticised junta efforts. He asked the regime to stop calling Rohingya people Bengali and to speed up the repatriation process. Junta officials have disagreed with the official estimates of the number of Rohingya living in camps in Bangladesh, claiming the numbers are inflated. Resistance fighters killed a military sergeant in Sagaing region on Monday after taking him from a beauty parlour at gunpoint. They said they shot him after he resisted arrest. In retaliation, regime troops detained at least 15 residents, 10 of which are still in custody. The resistance fighters are under the command of the National Unity Government, which opposes the military junta. Unidentified attackers shot and killed a local official in Magway region's Salin Township on Sunday. Pro-military channels blamed PDF terrorists for the killing. After more than 10 years of award-winning journalism, we at Frontier are fighting for our survival. The grants that once supported 2/3 of our operations are no longer available. Despite this, our journalists continue their difficult and dangerous work, but with decreasing resources. Please encourage friends and colleagues to join Frontier so we can continue producing our trademark features, in-depth investigations and on-the-ground reporting. By joining Frontier, you'll be supporting us to tell the stories that matter and to cut through the noise to reveal what's really happening in Myanmar. You'll also become part of our community, receiving Frontier Friday, our weekly newsletter, and updates on our latest podcasts. You'll also get access to one free article per month. Please click the link in the podcast show notes to join us. Thank you. Regime airstrikes have killed 27 civilians in Rakhine and Chin states over the past 16 days, according to reports. The victims included 14 women and 5 children. A 14-year-old girl and her father are among those killed in an airstrike in Rakhine State's Thandwe town on Monday. The attack injured 6 other civilians. A regime aircraft also attacked a resistance-run hospital and school in Sagaing region on Sunday. The airstrike killed 3 people in Kin Pan village, including a child and a pregnant woman. 13 people were also injured. In Magway region, a regime drone strike killed 3 civilians in Saw Township on Saturday. Junta troops killed the chair of a Chin resistance group last Friday, along with 3 other members. Saleh Yo-Chin was the commander-in-chief of the Yasho branch of the Chin Defense Force. He died after a battle in Magway region's Nape Township in central Myanmar. Junta troops detained a member of the group, while another remains missing. Members of the anti-junta group Black Dragon Force killed the leader of another Chin Defense Force group, the Kalay Kabor Gangor. Commander Ba Pyo and one subordinate was assassinated on Thursday last week in an action the Kalay Kabor Gangor branch called unethical and despicable. A local source said the Defence Force was accused of providing intelligence to the junta. Black Dragon Force members have since turned themselves in to the local authorities. Meanwhile, regime troops retook oil wells in Myang Township on Friday. Resistance groups have controlled the wells for the past 2 years. About 700 soldiers retook the wells after an airstrike following a 2-month offensive. The fighting killed more than 40 civilians and burned about 400 houses, displacing nearly 2,000 residents. The United States says China wrongfully detained Min Zin, executive director of a Myanmar think tank. Chinese authorities arrested him at Kunming Airport on June 3rd as he travelled to an academic conference. China accused him of espionage. The US State Department made the announcement yesterday. Min Zin is a US citizen and the executive director of ISP Myanmar, a think tank which researches Myanmar's politics and its relations with China. A US official said Min Zin was interrogated and isolated. His family did not know of his whereabouts for 48 hours. His wife, Sylvia Zin, thanked the Trump administration. She said Chinese authorities have blocked his access to reading materials and medication. ISP Myanmar welcomed the US designation. The group urged China to release him immediately. Min Zin was a student activist in Myanmar in 1988 and later fled to the US and founded ISP Myanmar. And that's the latest from Myanmar for this week. Check out our latest feature, Cross-Border Brides, which takes a look at women from Myanmar being trafficked to China for marriage, together with our Political Insider column Recasting Power on our website. Please click the link in the podcast show notes below. The Dotan podcast is free on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I'll be back next week to bring you a roundup of all the stories making the headlines on Friday, August the 28th.